contemplating building a game entirely with my friends on Twitter/Facebook. Totally open and Mad Lib style. Could be fun, or totally awful. For many game companies, social media can be a terrifying place. It's a community where hundreds, if not thousands, of hungry, restless voices will make themselves heard. These voices will support you. These voices will commend you. These voices will, well, depending on what you're making, might call you a couple slurs. Today, viewer, I want to propose to you a question. What would happen if instead of just listening to those voices, those cries and cries of one's community, a developer took those ideas, every single idea, and fucking ran with it?
We posted a picture of a red box in the center of the screen. It was the first thing we did, and we asked everybody on Twitter, what should we do with this red box?
All right, look, if we're gonna make this crazy-ass game, we're gonna need a crazy-ass person. I can make a whole goddamn video about this guy. Micah. Yes, it is pronounced Micah, not Mika. I've botched so many names in the span of only 4 videos that I am now writing them at the top of my script. Is a game developer out of Oakland, California, something that he is weirdly proud of. Look, when it comes to genuine knowledge and understanding of the development of video games, I don't know how many people can outpace this guy. Mike has worked in the scene forever. I'm just gonna play a 5-second clip of his office right now. We could probably change this guy's name to John Video Game, I think. He proposed to his wife by sneaking a secret Easter egg screen into the Game Boy Color port of Clax. One time, his daughter was so upset that you play as Mario instead of Pauline in the original arcade release of Donkey Kong that he went, okay, I'm fucking Micah. He model swapped the characters. The more I dove into this guy's career, the more I began to question if he's even a real human being. You know what else I can't believe? It's 2025. Hi everyone, how are you doing? It's me, Charlie from like 30 days in the future, here to tell you about this video sponsor, Mondly. It's the new year, and if you're anything like me, then that means it's time for some New Year's resolutions. So why not learn a language? With over 125 million users, Mondly is one of the world's largest language learning apps. And for pretty good reason. Whether it be the built-in chatbots that help you improve pronunciation in real time, or the weekly quizzes that you can use to recap everything you've learned, Mondly makes language easy. Which is why I'm excited to announce that they are offering a 96% off lifetime New Year's sale. All you gotta do is click the link in the description, mondly.app/chargy, and go claim that coupon today. It's 2025. It's time to make some changes. Why not go learn a new language? Thank you, Mondly, for sponsoring this video, and let's get back to the story. Our story begins 11 years ago. Yes, 2014 was 11 years ago. Other Ocean Interactive was a small game studio based out of Emeryville, California. Mostly known for helping bigger studios make just the most random assortment of video games I have ever seen. And our good buddy Mike here was spearheading most of these projects as the Other Ocean head of development. Thank you, Mike, for having a very well-organized LinkedIn. That helped a lot here. During these days, when Mike wasn't locked in, giving his absolute undisputed focus to games such as Pop Tropica Adventures for the DS, Mike would spend his breaks doing 2 main things: coding and tweeting. Mike tweets a lot, and like a goddamn mind explosion from the outer heavens, one day, it hit him. His next big project. Mike drew a circle. Oh my fucking god. Did I actually write circle in my script? Mike knew exactly what he needed to do. He drew a red box. And this singular shape is the genesis of today's story. An 8x16 pixel block standing vertically and directly in the center of Mike's newest tweet. Where to go with this? I've started a new project. It draws a red box. Thinking platformer? Mike made a promise that day. A simple yet incredibly intriguing promise. From that moment forward, he would regularly update Twitter on this new pet project of his. And any comment from any user on any of these tweets that he found interesting would be taken and implemented into its gameplay. It draws a red box. Or, as it would more commonly come to be known, hashtag IDARB. However, there was still one massive issue in the way of this project. Mike was kinda gonna need an audience. I think the red box needs to make a critical choice, and the narrative branches from there. Or maybe you could rent movies from a red box. Oh my god, this is gonna be a mess. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to what I can only describe to you as the IDARB cycle. Micah tweets a thing, someone says a funny thing, Mike likes the funny thing, he puts the funny thing in the game. There we go. Ideas were relatively slow starting out. You see, the ideal community for someone making a game like this would be a big fat pile of random people. Mike had himself, a couple Twitter friends, and like co-workers, I guess. So these days of IDARB's, Wild Westy, is that a word? No, it isn't. Development were very slow. We had blocks, we had platforms, and apparently he wanted the blocks to be soda cans for some reason. I'm telling you, these early days are very confusing. But hey, look at these unique character designs. Mike, I don't think we can use those character designs. IDARB needed a focus. Something that could tie the whole game together. A centerpiece, the it factor. That thing that could get the whole game moving. What was it? What should four cans that navigate with soda fizz do? Fight? Explore? Fight by ramming one another? Fight over possession of something? Now this tweet got 4 replies, which up until this point was a pretty solid number of people. One guy suggesting crates and parrots, another suggesting a joust type of game, and one last person suggested a ball. Mike fucking loved this idea. Couch multiplayer, basketball, soda fizz, soda can game. Look, I said it out of focus. I didn't say it made much sense. Fortunately, there is a very solid amount of early development footage that is unfortunately posted to the only social media you can't access anymore. Oh my god, it's all on Vine. But Mike and his team were hard at work. Tweeting and coding and tweeting and coding, and I don't actually know if they ever did anything else, to be honest. Desperately trying to get IDARB in some kind of state that they could show to the world. But if they were going to really make that happen, they were still going to need a little bit of help. Why the fuck are you here? The indie game revolution is a term that's pretty commonly used to describe the massive influx in independent game studio success that we've seen over the past decade. A market that for a very long amount of time was completely dominated by a funny game company A, B, and C finally began to show its true colors as we've now began to see small independent studios just completely mog massive multi-billion-dollar IPs. Realizing that whether they liked it or not, independent games were becoming the future, Microsoft set up the ID at Xbox program, an initiative that was created with the hope of getting more independent studios developing for the brand new Xbox One. Microsoft would market these games, Microsoft would bring them to conventions, and really do whatever they possibly could to make these indie games successful. They just had to remain Xbox exclusives. I don't like that. Luckily, it seems that in the following years, they kind of stopped doing that. Thanks, Microsoft. Cough, cough. So now we've got a guy who desperately wants to market video games and guy who desperately needs his game to be marketed. I mean, I think you see where this video's going. Here it is, version 0.02. As you can see, we still have the blocks, we still have the platforms, and we still have the ball. Yep, that's good enough. This is definitely IDARB. After roughly 2 months of fiddling around in the office, Mike and his team arrived at GDC to unveil their new project to the world. Standing as one of the first 25 indie games released alongside the ID at Xbox program, IDARB had 3 initial receptions from the public. Reception 1, what the hell is this game? Reception 2, why is that the name? And reception 3, this hoe is addictive as hell. I think the gameplay mostly speaks for itself here. Get the ball, pass the ball, throw the ball, win the game. Players were having an unbelievable amount of fun playing this game, and game magazines were desperately struggling to even describe what it was. I really like this one description from WindowsCentral.com that describes it as, quote, a chaotic 8-player esports jumping jetpack future arena ball game that is as inspired by Bomberman and Smash Bros. As it is by cans of soda, paint by number books, and driving 5 miles faster than the speed limit. Did I just have a stroke? It's kind of like NBA Jam. It's kind of like Smash Bros. It's fucking IDARB, man. There's no way to explain it. This first look was great. People were loving the absolute chaos and local fun that IDARB was bringing to the convention, even if sometimes it was completely impossible to even comprehend. And Mike even threw in a custom sprite creator where players could go online, drop a little character, and then using a QR code, they could scan them into the game and play as them at the convention.
Go ahead, Jeff.
All right, let's try...
Penis.
Yeah, keeping these
Find
fingers
it, find
crossed.
Find the penis, Jeff.
This guy says, hope this worked.
It didn't. Oh, there it is. Oh!
Motherfuckers were eating this shit up, creating character after character. Here's a Flappy Bird, here's a Sonic, here's the Binding of Isaac. Oh my god, that's the actual producer. And IDARB had successfully secured itself an excited community of players ready to play the game. And willing to do what Mike hoped for ever since that first tweet. Give ideas. So after GDC, to make the process a bit easier, Mike launched IDARB.com, a website where not only could you continue to fuck around and create sprites, but submit any idea you wanted. So, dear viewer, I would like to propose to you a second question. If a small handful of people messing around on Twitter for roughly 2 months could create this, what would happen if you gave hundreds of random minds from all over the country a whole year? What would that game even look like? What would be in it? Would it even be playable? What would happen if Twitter made a game? Well, in February of 2015, 13 months after the initial conception of hashtag IDARB, we got that answer.
Can you believe it? The #1 esports crowdsourced Twitter briefing 4-on-4 multiplayer extravaganza is coming to your Xbox One.
Welcome to hashtag IDARB, the 1v1 or 2v2 or 3v3 or 4v4 or 5v3 or 6v2 or 7v1. Don't try that last one. Trust me, I learned the hard way. Couch multiplayer ball game extravaganza, where you and your team compete to score as many points as you possibly can. And oh my god, it would be so nice if this game was actually that simple. Each match begins in the IDARB character selector. The playable teams in IDARB include the following: Default, Breakfast, Mustache Cops, Your Moms, Barbarian Horde, Old McDonald's, Mermaids, Noir, Mimes, Wild West, The Damsels, Arcade Cabinets, Ballerinas, Dead Presidents, Box Guardians, Cappy Game Studios, Double Fine Studios, fucking Halo, Harmonix, Oddworld, Space-Time Lovers, that's a deep cut, Dark Dreams Don't Die, that's a really deep cut, Nicholas Studios, I might have pronounced that one wrong, Dive Kick, Dragon Fantasy, The Escapists, Intellivision, Killer Instinct, Retro City Rampage, Shantae, Whoa Dave, I have never heard of this one in my life, oh my god, they added worms, Brookdale, which after a lot of research, the only thing I could find was a community college. Is this a community college? I don't know what Brookdale is. I Am 8-Bit Incorporated, Tested.com, which is owned by the fucking Mythbusters, by the way. Yes, that is Adam Savage. Other Ocean, oh hey look, it's Mike. Chariot, Ready Up Live. Other Ocean, again, Rare Studios, Necrosoft Studios, Evolve, okay, that's the deepest cut of the night, Rooster Teeth, Volgar the Viking, Invincible, The Walking Dead, He-Man, and finally, these Lovecraftian-ass monsters. So, you know, just a pretty simple character select. I am also completely disregarding the fact that you can use the custom sprite editor to create any character you want. Look, I made myself. Don't know why I thought this would change anything. I should stop doing this. Once you and your friends have selected the teams of your choice, you are brought into the IDARB arena. And this part actually plays pretty similarly to the original game. if it smoked like a lethal dose of crack, probably. The overall premise mostly remains the same. Grab the ball, throw it in the goal. And depending on the distance that you're throwing it from, that's going to give you a different amount of points. For example, simply walking the ball in gives you 1, a little further gives you 2, even further gives you 3, and super far away gives you 5. Simple? Great. Let's keep moving. If at any point during your shot you bounce the ball, that will multiply the points that you get. And you also get bonus points for any alley-oops. Score 3 times in a row, and your character starts burning on fire. During this period of time, any scores you get causes the goal to explode. This doesn't actually mean anything. It's kind of funny. Still simple? Yes? All right, great. Let's talk about hash bombs. If you thought this shit looked chaotic, oh my god. Every IDARB game has a specific room code. By tweeting at IDARBWire, #the room code, plus a specific keyword of many different effects, I found these ones on IGN, a plethora of different things can happen to your match. You can fill the arena with water, shoot massive lasers, create fireworks, turn everyone into clowns, turn off the lights, rickroll the player, because of course you can, create a bunch of balls, turn the ball into a bomb, that's scary, jump scare the player, etc, 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 etc. Since IDARB servers don't actually exist anymore, because, you know, it's been like a decade since this game came out, they instead simulate hash bombs by just having a random effect happen every 5 seconds. And is this what hell looks like? This might be what hell looks like. Not to mention that if any of these hazards actually happen to hit your player, then you are sent to the penalty box. But don't worry, while in the penalty box, if you happen to hit any other player with a spike, you trigger a swap-o-rama, sending them into the penalty box and you back into the game. Okay, this is starting to get a bit much. Play through 4 quarters, the team with the most points at the end wins. That's the game. Just kidding. Did I mention that this also has halftime performances? This right here is the IDARB halftime show, where all players are forced to compete in a random minigame in the middle of the match. Why is this here? I don't know. It's funny. Fuck you. There's tug of war, racing, duck hunt, Flappy Bird, space battles, wheat tanks, Crossy Road, and Bomberman! Okay. And that's IDARB. Just kidding! I didn't even start to mention the fact that there's 3 different stages. This one has actual hoops. Look at this one. Whoa, I'm in space! There's also billboards on this map. Originally, I thought these were sponsored, but no. It just turns out Mike put up games that he liked. God damn it, this dude is so cool. Once the game is finished, depending on how well you did, you are placed on a pedestal. Waggle your stick as fast as possible. Please don't break your hand doing this, to see who becomes that game's MVP. And also, the losing team gets to press the A button to cry. IDARB is a lot. It's a beautiful creation, really. A game so completely unsure of what it is that it charmingly becomes this type of beast that we've quite literally never seen before. It's an amalgam of internet culture and the best of human stupidity, strung together into this symphony of clashing ideas that shouldn't work together, but just how little they work together is what makes them work. These clashing ideas that feel so separated through the absolute beauty of chaos become combined. And that was only talking about the main mode! Unsurprisingly, IDARB has a lot of completely random side content. Firstly, there's the single-player mode, which continued to impress me with some of the most well-understood and detailed character writing that I've ever seen from a fictional narrative. And I know you're all thinking what I'm thinking. Where the hell's the audio production interface? I need to stop talking. Some things in this game are seriously ahead of its time. Like the fantasy gambling mode, where you can cook up a parlay. I've got over 6.5 shots attempted by Ronald Reagan and under 12.5 assists from a literal strip of bacon. God damn it. It's everything and it's nothing. It's chaos, and yet it's functional. It's a case study on how if you can push any idea to as hard as you possibly can, anything can become great. It is #IDARB. And it also has a cookbook. Hi, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the official Charlie's Cooking Power Hour. As you can see, I have hooked up my entire PC setup in the center of my kitchen My roommates probably hate me. Hold on. Yeah, one sec. That one! Cowboys Cookhouse, also known as Cowboys Cookhouse Eggs. We're pretty certain that the depiction of gritty cowboy life in books and film is pretty inaccurate. After sampling some of what can only be described as the finest food ever made, anything with potatoes, bacon, garlic, and whiskey, we will not be using whiskey. I am underage. I am not a cook in the slightest. I want to preface this with that. Can you hear it?
What's it gonna do? What's it gonna say? What's it gonna play?
Okay. Now it calls to, we gotta get the potatoes. Boom! Hash browns, hash browns! Okay, so while that's cooking, it's time to fuck with some onions.
You can make it it's your game.
I'm being serious, by the way. Please do not mimic anything you see me doing here. Bang! Bang! Oh, I fucking broke the first yolk.
Ready for thrills, ready for thrills. Are you ready for the thrills?
Oh my god, I might have actually done it. I mean, like that looks like the recipe. Bon appetit. Oh, I gotta make sure this tastes good. What Mike and his team created, hold on, I gotta take one more bite. What Mike and his team created here is a one-of-a-kind video game. I think a lot of us can come around and agree that a lot of the charm of indie gaming comes from the ability to create a meaningful experience with a lack of budget. IDARB is not just a video game. It is an actual statement from a man who just had a vision and a dream that people wouldn't take shit so seriously, to have fun and create what you want to create. Because goddammit, no matter how weird it is, no matter how chaotic it is, it's those type of aspects that make your creation real. Like, goddammit, I didn't have to have a cooking segment in the middle of my video, but that was fun as hell. I brought up the cooking segment, I gotta take another bite now. Some things should just be fun. So I want to leave you with this. Go make shit. Go have fun. If there's anything I want you to take away from this, granted, pretty all over the place video, it's that everything you make has value. Thank you, Other Ocean Interactive, Micah, and your team of incredible developers for just doing something fun. When Twitter makes a game, it is absolute chaos. And god damn it, that chaos is just beautiful. Thank you once again to Modly for sponsoring this video, and thank you, dear viewer, if you're still sitting here in the outro right now looking at me, for watching the whole thing. I just wanted to break into the outro really quickly to let you all know that there will not be a video in February because the March video is so fucking big that I need double the production time. Have fun chewing on that. Follow me on Patreon if you want actual updates. Goodbye.